And welcome back to the weekly market breakdown. We're going over everything that's going on in the market while keeping it as simple as possible. This week, we had a lot of things to talk about. First, we had the first week of Donald Trump being in office, and he did have a lot of things that I want to let you guys know about. As well, this week, we did hit a little bit of economic data that did affect the market. And then with those two things, we'll go over the S&P 500 and cryptocurrency and how they drove the market up. And finally, next week is going to be a huge week in the market. I want to let you guys know exactly what to look for. But first, let's talk about the biggest thing in the market and Donald Trump getting in office this week. And he did make a lot of moves, but I want to talk about a lot of the things that will affect the stock market. The main two things was AI and cryptocurrencies. So Davos convention was this week, and basically that's a meeting of the world leaders and the executives. And Donald Trump did speak there, and he let the world know that the United States will be the leader in AI and cryptocurrency. Another thing that Donald Trump talked about was he was going to force interest rates to come down as well as oil prices to come down. And it was very interesting about the interest rates coming down because Donald Trump does not control that. That's actually controlled by the Federal Reserve, and the head man there is Jerome Powell. We'll talk about that at the end of this video when I talk about what to look for next week. But again, Donald Trump has been very passionate about AI and cryptocurrencies, and he did put some executive orders into play. Now, first, let's talk about AI. Donald Trump did change some things from the previous administration, and basically he wants America to be able to innovate in AI without that many restrictions. Also, he put in a deal to work for AI to invest over $500 billion into AI innovation in America. Now, that was huge news this week. And you remember, biggest AI stock in America is Nvidia. So if you look at the chart above, you'll see that Nvidia was actually up at 10% in a single week with that news that they're going to invest all this money into AI chip sector. Now, going to the end of this week, it did come down, but it still was up huge this week. So with that huge of a move, let's see exactly how the AI chip sectors work. Now, going into cryptocurrency, Donald Trump again promised that the US will be the innovators of cryptocurrencies. And one of the main things that I want to talk about is Donald Trump originally was talking about he is going to have America have a stockpile of cryptocurrency in Bitcoin. And one note I want to let you guys know is that actually is different from what they were originally saying when he was running for office, when saying that we're going to have a Bitcoin reserve. So the difference between a stockpile is the government will keep the Bitcoin that they did seize earlier, which is a lot of Bitcoin, and they will keep it. That is a little bit different than what he said going into the election, because the thing is, with a Bitcoin reserve, that actually could challenge the dollar strength worldwide, because other countries could actually invest in that instead of the dollar. With this stockpile, it will not directly affect the dollar. So again, that's something that could be bullish with cryptocurrency, but actually still bullish with the US dollar. So with the stockpile of cryptocurrency, the government wouldn't necessarily be buying more cryptocurrency, but instead they'll be taking that seized cryptocurrencies that they have earlier and putting it in a stockpile. But we'll be going over Bitcoin in a little bit. But first, I want to talk about economic data we received. So this week we did receive jobless claims, and if you look above, you'll see that jobless claims came in a little bit hotter than expectations. So more people did file for unemployment than people thought. But with that data on Thursday, the stock market actually did go up. So investors are now looking at that interest rate cut meeting next week. Again, with that economic data and all Donald Trump had did this week, the stock market took off. If you look at the S&P 500 above, you see the stock market was up basically over 3% this week. So we had a huge move up. And if you're actually looking back to last week, from January the 13th to this week, we were up almost 5% since then. So again, we're having a huge move in the stock market. And always remember, the stock market usually don't go straight up like that. So again, this week we need to see exactly how much farther we can go up. Now, going into the cryptocurrency side, I did let you guys know on Monday to check about the double top for cryptocurrency, and it looked like that exactly happened. So if you look at Bitcoin chart above, again, we hit that 108 on Monday, like I was saying. Now we are teetering down a little bit. Today, Bitcoin is at $104,000. So again, it's coming down a little bit, but we still kind of are in a bullish flag. So we'll need to see this week what cryptocurrency do with the rest of the market. Now, Ethereum, on the other hand, if you look at the chart above, Ethereum has been a little bit weaker to Bitcoin. Ethereum right now is hovering about that $3,400 range. But again, we did have some bullish news with Ethereum. Trump did buy some Ethereum for his own wallet. And going over cryptocurrency, one thing I did let you guys know about the Trump coin last week. So last week, the Trump coin went all the way up to about $71 from 50 cents. Well, if you look at the chart above, you'll see that the Trump coin has been struggling ever since. cents. So that's why I wanted to let you guys know and warn you, do not just put all your money into this coin. Right now, the Trump coin is down 20s. That's a very big crash in just 1 week. So we'll need to keep an eye on this Trump coin to see how far it can go down. Because again, it is a meme coin. It does not have any real utility. So again, we'll see what exactly happened with this coin. So next week is the Fed meeting. Again, that's with the Federal Reserve. So Donald Trump said he's going to force interest rates to come down. But Jerome Powell is the head chief of the Federal Reserve. So he will speak and let us know if interest rates will come down or not. And again, interest rates are so big because when interest rates comes down, it lets the big corporations borrow money at a cheaper rate. And why that is important is because that is actually bullish for assets. So when the interest rates come down, usually assets go up. So the Fed meeting is the big news at the early part of the week, but the mid part of the week is earnings season. If you look at this calendar above, you'll see that this week we have some of the biggest companies in the world reporting earnings, with Meta, Tesla, Apple. All these trillion-dollar companies will let us know what their report card is showing that they did the last quarter. So that will have some major effects on the market going forward. So again, this week all eyes will be on the Fed meeting and earnings. So we will have a lot of things to talk about next week. Again, this is the weekly market recap. I will see you next week. Peace.